Have you come to any conclusions about it at all?
Not really, no. I'm not a great analyst. I kind of just count my blessings, you know. I feel very lucky, and there is so much fate involved. You know, my friend Ivan Vaughan taking me to Walton Village Fete, me seeing John there, me not going home immediately, me going backstage talking to him, me happening to know the words to 20 Flight Rock, him happening to be impressed, you know. And there's so much sort of conclusions. No, I don't ask me about conclusions about life, never mind the Beatles' career or that aspect of it. I find it very difficult to draw conclusions about anything. It just seems to me to be one great magical adventure, if you're lucky, you know.
Certain things, of course, change your perceptions. I mean, Linda recently has been very ill. I mean, I imagine that would change your perception of life as well.
Yes, it does a lot. It's when you have a life-threatening illness, you know, afflict your family. I think it does put your priorities in place. You start thinking, oh, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe we could do that together. We could do this. And it makes you realise, you know, there's, as somebody said, nobody getting out of this one alive. You know, and because I live as if I'm going to live forever. There's no sort of thought for the future in my mind, you know. Maybe that's a good thing. But I think with something like that, you do have to sit down and you think, okay, what's important, you know? Well, you're important to me, I'm important to her. But, and I think in some ways, there is a good side to it. That's the good side to it. Obviously, all the rest of it is horrible.
Yes.
But she's doing well, and you know, she's a very, very positive woman.
Yes.
Very can sort of laugh through all this. I'd say to her, I don't know if it happened to me, I'm not so sure I'd be that positive. But she's fantastic. She's a great, strong woman. She's my girlfriend. You know, I know it's a bit like you and Mary. You know, we just got lucky with each other, I think.
It is luck, isn't it?
Well, I think so. You know, it's I mean, had I not have been at the Bag of Nails one night, my little watering hole, late one night, we would have never met. And had I not have actually stood up as she was about to leave and actually stood in her way and said, we're going to another club, would you like to join us? Which I never did. I just felt I had to do it on this occasion. And luckily she said, yeah. So, you know, that was over 28 years ago. And we've been very lucky.
And it's difficult, isn't it, to imagine any life without it?
Absolutely.
You know, that's the thing about it. That if you contemplate a scenario ahead, it always includes that person. That you can't think.
It does.
What might it be like without that?
Yes. You know, for me, there are some people who get married and spend a lot of time apart. I mean, for me, just sleeping with a fine wife is very much part of it.
And sleeping with a lady too.
An official lady. With a lady. Now look at that. Well, I tell you, that is one of the fun things. Actually,
do you ever think when you're in speak, you end up sleeping with a lady?
Oh my God! I wished. I never thought it'd happen.
What about just a couple of other things to clear up before we play our final piece of music? Sadly, the Institute of Performing Arts, this thing you started in Liverpool.
Yes.
That seems to have taken off rather well.
Well, that's great. You know. It was the old grammar school that me and George Harrison went to. So while we were at it, it wasn't our most favourite place, you know, because it was school and we were teenagers in Liverpool. And once I left it, I thought, my God, you know, that school gave me so much. I mean, when I was 11, I was learning Latin and Spanish. Amongst all the other subjects. When I was 12, they added German to it. So, I mean, that's fairly intense language stuff, you know. And so I was very privileged, I felt, for coming from a family with no money, to get such a classic education, you know. So when the school was falling down and in a very derelict state, I went up to visit it out of nostalgia once, and I thought, we can't let this happen, you know. This is an 1825 building, I've got to try and stop it. Then someone put this idea of a performing arts centre together, and I thought, well, that's probably what we could do. Yeah. And if I can sell that, and if I can raise enough money, so we raised an awful lot of money and got the building secure. And the only trouble is, schools don't make hits. The businesses I've been associated with, if it's kind of going down, it's because you didn't make a hit, so you've got to make a hit. Schools, they always need funding, you know, even the greatest of them, Oxford and Cambridge, whatever. you know, the great American institutions, they need a hell of a lot of money to keep going. So that's the ongoing problem. But it's a fine school, and it is doing very well. And
that's your gift to Liverpool in a sense as well.
Well, you know,
put it something back.
In a way, I suppose you could say that. Yeah.
Okay, let's finish where we began.
All right.
From Flaming Pie. This is I love this song, Little Willow.
You and Eamon Andrews.
Because I was singing along there, and he's
I wasn't criticised.
No, we're taking the mickey then. I would love to be a pop singer. I'd love to.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd like some Sinatra. That's how I sort of really fancy myself. You once wrote a song for Sinatra, didn't you?
I tried to. I tried to. He thought it was a Mickey take.
Then what was it called?
It was called Suicide. And when he got it, I think as kids, you know, before rock and roll, people forget. Before rock and roll, there was sort of Sinatra and all of that. Well, you don't forget. It's more your thing. But with us kids, that's who you were trying to write for.
Yeah.
You know, and then sort of Elvis came along, and it changed it all.
Changed a lot. Well, you and three other lads changed a lot. That's for absolute sure. Paul McCartney, thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Michael.